Hey, today we're going out to my friend John's place. John called me a few years back to sell some timber off his homestead property to pay for a tractor that he needed. So we finally, after about 3 years, we got enough money to pay for a tractor, got the timber sold, and they started logging. And they also started a project that we applied for USDA funding for, which is a stream stabilization project to improve a trout stream that runs through his property. They're doing a fantastic job. So watch all the way through. The first half is about logging, the second half is about trout stream, trout habitat, and stream stabilization. Okay, so this is a demonstration of what a proper harvest looks like, or should look like. Over here we have a stump of where the logger took a nice big tree. It had a big crown on it. If you pan up there, John, and show the hole in the canopy, get plenty of full sunlight down to the forest floor to germinate new trees. And if you look over, well, we'll start here. There's a lot of nice pole timber in this stand. There's good red oak everywhere of this size and a little smaller. And the logger is doing a good job of being careful not to skin those up. A lot of times loggers will go by here and scrape all the bark off of that, and then it turns into another green junk tree. If you go over here, now we marked this fairly hard compared to what I usually do, just because we had to have the volume to make the sale. But I left a lot of seed trees. This is a seed tree that is poor quality. It's got a kink in it. There's another one up higher, just like that. It's not that big, so the money isn't good on a tree like this. So you might as well leave it to produce seeds. So that white oak up there will go because that's where the money is. We needed to cut that for the money. And hopefully, right here, this tree will provide seed in this opening, and hopefully we'll get some new chestnut oak. And that's pretty much all done back in there. The tops will create some shelter for new seedlings, and also create places where deer can bed down, and hen turkeys like to nest in those tops, and there's some firewood around. So far so good. We'll once they scratch up this trail and get it all fixed up, we'll put some lime on there and put some forage on these skid trails to make it even better for wildlife habitat in here. Next project we're doing here is we have U.S. Fish and Wildlife fixing up the trout stream. What was going on here, John, before?
So what was happening is the old creek channel was right over there, and it had opened up this creek channel on this side. It was washing out the corner of my hayfield. So U.S. Fish and Wildlife came in. They widened this opening because my property line's just up there a little bit, so they had to start here. They widened this opening, reinforced this wall, put that little water feature in there, then they come down and put these log structures in to push that water towards the center of the channel.
Yeah, it keeps the channel in the middle, speeds up the water a little bit.
And it actually makes it like a plunge pool.
Yeah, it's a little better for trout to sit in there.
Yeah, and they said, so these will center the water in the channel, he said, for about 60 feet.
Yep.
So that's why they space them out like they do. But they're doing an awesome job, and the guys are just great to work with.
They're stabilizing the stream bank so it doesn't collapse anymore. And this is all funded by
NRCS.
NRCS.
Yeah. Yeah, we can walk down there and look at that next one too.
It makes a much nicer trout stream, that's for sure.
So this log in the center So they stack those logs up, and they probably go down there 3 feet. So it holds that in real nice, and then they drop the elevation, and you can see the ripples there and how much oxygen that will even add to the water.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And then this is an overflow channel over here. So you can see how they kind of did that. They reinforced that. That way if it overflows and comes in there, it won't wash that out. They stoned that really pretty hard over there.
And this is large, so it doesn't rot. That'll stay there for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're putting a piece of rebar through 2 or 3 logs and then burying them in there. So it's all stabilized.
Yeah, and you can see here they put the Geo paper on this side. That way if the water comes over, it can't undermine the logs. It has to go over them.
That's a good place for a trout to hide right there, right at the end of that ripple. Okay, so the first thing they do is dig out where they're going to put the logs. Now I need to go through 3 months of permitting to go through a mud puddle on a logging ground.
Well,
But these guys can just do whatever they want because they...
This is probably 3 to 4 years in the making.
Yeah.
Through applying and doing the paperwork and
Right.
reapplying. And
Yeah, this isn't something that happens overnight.
no.
But I'm glad they finally got in here.
You just have to stick with it because the government ain't going to make it easy on you. You got to just keep doing what you need to do.
Yeah, so down there is where there's a bend. There's a bend in the stream right there. And it was really eating away at the bank.
Yeah, my hayfield, yeah.
So they got that all stabilized down there. And they're going to put another... What do they call these then?
I think they call them a sill log.
Okay.
You kind of...
That guy's bringing a bunch of riprap over. They put that riprap on there and then it just can't eat away at the bank anymore. Oh, that's going to be your trout hole right there.
I wonder if he's going to put 2 in.
He's going to make a little waterfall there. Well, there was a lot going on out there at John's homestead. The next project is going to be a USDA-funded fencing project to set up rotational grazing on his pasture. That way we can increase soil health over time and make the ground a lot more productive. We want to feed plenty of deer and turkeys as well as the cattle and the pork that he raises on the homestead. If you have any questions about these projects, comment down below or get in touch with me and I'll do my best to answer any questions you might have. All right, stay tuned. I'll see you on the next video.